Okay, welcome everyone where you happen to be watching this round 9 clash here. Norwood hosting Glenelg here at the parade. Our sponsors, Parade Sellers, Cockatoo Ridge Wines, Copy World and the North East Club out at Gillis Plains. And it's myself, Damien Woodards, bringing you the game along with Jim Huff and Daniel Frangos on special comments.
Good evening, Damien.
And good evening, Jim and Daniel.
And good evening, guys. Looking forward to this big game.
So, a couple of stoppages in the middle. Of course, Norwood have hit some good form of late. Daniel and Glenelg, of course, probably the top side of the competition at the moment. Sturt sitting at the top of the table, but Glenelg only on one loss so far this season.
And Glenelg will go to top, of course, if they win tonight.
So another ball up in the middle. Kane trying to get a handle on it. He's pressured there by Kite. And looks like we're going to have another stoppage here. And a couple of big inclusions tonight for the Redlegs. Gallagher back in the side, Trotter and I know Gallagher and Trotter are the ones.
You were going to say Doyle,
but Doyle played
it.
in the reserves.
Yep.
And Bartamucci are the omissions from Norwood's 23. Ball comes out towards Trotter. Holmes picks it up on towards Backwell. Sends Glenelg into attack. Kick there eludes the forward in Kirkby, but a chance there for the Rover in Bode. Sends it back into the pocket there, looking for Grimer, but he spills and we're going to have a boundary throw in.
So who are we going for tonight, boys?
Well, I know you'll be going for Glenelg, Daniel.
I certainly am going for the Tigers.
I'm sure Damien will be going for Norwood. I'm the impartial one, and I'll say Glenelg will win based on their form's been irresistible this year.
Okay, I'll go for Norwood in an upset from 12 to 24.
Oh, margins.
I guess an interesting stat, guys, is that Glenelg have actually won 6 of the last 8 between the two sides. So also having good form against Norwood in recent times, not just in this year, but also in the last few years.
And what was there was a corresponding clash here where Norwood won quite comfortably with Luke Panozzo kicking a bag, though, for Glenelg last year.
Panozzo kicked 6 goals that night, and Glenelg lost, and that made them 1-6. So. Well, now they're 6-1, so the total opposite.
Yeah, no, I was going to come up with that one. That's a good stat. We're now in the it's Murphy. Nice kick out of the stoppage there. Norwood players, the umpire's called a free here, and he's giving it to Norwood. Didn't see what that was for. It was a big pack, and it looks like Jackman with the ball. He's looking for options here. Game started at a fairly. Not a big pace yet, but I'm sure this is a lot of intensity with their players at the moment.
Well, great mark.
Mark of the night so far.
The Copy World mark of the night.
Okay, sounds right. Okay, and he's spotted up someone in the middle, but great play by John Hinge to cut that off. And John Hinge has been in scintillating form this year.
So two ex-Crows players.
There's a lot of ex-Crows players out here tonight. As young Holmes now, he's a good rookie as he kicks the ball into the leading player. It was McConnell, not taken. And once again, it was Norwood are able to bring it out here on this Jesse Ash side of the ground here, right on the wing. He's got players moving for him, but once again cut off. Hit high there, the Glenelg player. And he's not getting up.
Gee.
I don't know whether he's trying to milk it, but that was obviously in the AFL, that sort of head high. Whether it's accidental or not, it's often taken note.
Just quickly, Sam Rowe seems to be the go-to man as Norwood come into attack so far early in this game.
What a mark there by Kirkby.
So neither side is sort of end-to-end stuff because we've gone just over 4.5 minutes to this first term. Norwood now building from the half-back line. Lower has an airy. Number 11, I think, is Weatherall there for Norwood. Of course, a big recruit coming across from Sturt, a bit like Mick Noonan in 1978. Comes out. Chance there for Kane. Steadies. He's got Backwell in space on the 50. Heads towards goal. Has a look at the goals. Will he make the distance? No.
That's a goal.
Grimer.
Off the ground. I think there was a drop mark there to Bound, and Grimer got the spillage, and it's through for a major. So the first one there to Glenelg as we look to the Cockatoo Ridge Wine scoreboard. It's, of course, Glenelg 1 goal, Norwood yet to score.
And what a forward line that Glenelg side's got. They're currently the best attack in the SANFL, averaging 111 points per game, where Norwood, Norwood are the 7th best attack, so they're only averaging 77 points per game. But yeah, that Glenelg forward line has some big options up there with Grimer, Seller, Kirkby, McConnell's roaming around, and you've also got Doldig.
Yes, and they're all very, very talented players. As the umpire now bounces the ball in the middle of the ground, it's a nice bounce, and that makes it easy for. He's going to recall it, is he?
Yes. I think if it bounces out of the circle, he has to recall it.
Maybe he better just stay with throwing it up.
He's going to throw it up now. He has to throw it up.
Tim Weatherall's got the centre position, and if Damien's right, Tim Weatherall will finish his career at North Adelaide.
Coaching.
Well, playing. I think Mickey played there for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, Norwood streaming to attack now, and it's a great chance for Lyko. It's knocked out of his hands. It's gone out of bounds in the forward pocket for Norwood. That's their first attack, as Glenelg have done most of the attacking so far. And we're now, what are we now? It's 6 minutes in on the first quarter. Parade sellers.
Time clock. They'll match any price. Any advertised price and any wine, spirit, or your favourite ale. Anyway, Daniel, just quickly.
Just going to say that sounds pretty good, guys. Might head down there later.
Well, there's a crowd of about 4,000 here at the moment. They'll probably all head down there after the game.
As Puopolo gets a kick smothered in that forward pocket there. And we're going to have another boundary throw. And, of course, Jamie Vlatko came back in the side last week, but he has been missing from that Norwood forward line.
And a former Glenelg player. And he's actually Norwood's leading goal kicker this season with 15 goals.
So, boundary throw-in. It's Rowe against Cranston. 2 Glenelg players. One is Sugars, gets the ball out. Quick kick from Block. Chance there for Glenelg. They'll prevail here with Fisher getting a handle on it. On towards Ty Allen, who's been amongst Glenelg's best players in the last few weeks, in good form at the moment. Kick up the forward line. That's a nice mark there, taken by Dogan. Now he elects to go grandstand wing. Got Kite in space. He's backed up by the ever-running Jackman. Has to go back after it again. A great tackle there by Kane, putting pressure on the Norwood defender. Chance there for Norwood, but I think the ball was out of play. We're going to have a boundary thrown in the Sam's Disco pocket.
Gee, it's a big crowd building up now, guys, isn't it? Probably not, as you said, not as big as the Port game or the Norwood Stirk game, but certainly not a bad crowd here tonight.
Well, I was being conservative saying 4,000. There's some gaps around the place, but Cooper's Hill's pretty packed, and that's always a good sign of a big crowd.
So Allen fighting with Campbell in the middle of the ground, and we're going to have another ball up.
And just the last 4 times these two sides have met here at Cooper Stadium, it's 2 wins apiece. So I guess can't read too much into that one. But Norwood, of course, have played. This is their 5th night game this season.
And it might be the last while. I think they're going to go. It's heading into winter. I think the rounds will be more on Saturday afternoons from now on. But it's good conditions tonight, and perfect conditions for a great game.
As you said, that might be the only advantage Norwood have over Glenelg. This is their 5th night game. Glenelg haven't played one this season.
Okay, a great tackle there in the crunches there by the Glenelg players. They've had certainly brought their best game after round 1 every week. Glenelg, they had a bit of a bad start to the year, getting thrashed by how they laid it down at Nalunga, but they made up for that last week. Big Kenrick and Ruck tip over the back, close in there, players over the ball. Norwood now out with it through Dygan, but Glenelg got the chance through Block. Dygan's got the ball again. It's gone out of bounds.
Might have pulled out a free kick here.
Oh, he has, yes.
To Block.
To Block. Now, Block's been in and out of the side, Daniel, a bit this year, finds it very hard to get a regular spot.
Yeah, he came in a couple of weeks ago, and he's done pretty well, actually, in the last 2 weeks.
That's forced over the line for a point, first point of the game. On the Cockatoo Ridge scoreboard, that puts Glenelg now 1-1. Norwood still yet to score.
So nearly 10 minutes gone on the Parade Sellers time clock as we wait for Brett Zorzi to recommence play. Elects to go to the outer side. He's got Bound there as a target, punched away, lower on the deck, handballs it out. Aerial ping pong there. Ty Allen tackled immediately once he's grabbed the football ball. And another stalemate. We're going to have another stoppage. Had quite a few stoppages so far in this game, Daniel.
Yeah, it certainly has been. And probably would suit Norwood. Glenelg, of course, the most attacking side. And, you know, if they can keep them to not too many goals this opening quarter, they're always a chance, Norwood. I guess the longer this arm wrestle continues like this, it will suit the legs.
Though Norwood's haven't finished off, not many.
That is one thing, yep. Against South Adelaide, certainly didn't finish off that game.
James Gallagher's got the ball, and he's got it's gone against Norwood, and it's gone to the Tigers' Ty Allen, who's been probably having his best season of his career this year. He's been really a star player. Kicks the ball into that teeth of goals. Norwood are in front, dropped the mark. Bad mistake. Glenelg got an opportunity. Crowd on the hill and they've given it to Glenelg.
Gee,
Young
wow.
Holmes.
I would say that's a pro Norwood crowd on the hill there, and they were calling for the other way. And young Holmes now, he's only like 15 metres out. This should be a gimme goal for him. He doesn't kick many goals. He's more of your plays around the midfield more often, but he's down in the forward line tonight at the moment, and he should put this on the board for Glenelg's second goal. Great start.
Gee, yeah, as you said, he's only kicked 7 goals in his league career, so here's a chance to add to that.
And that matches his number on his back. That's his 7th goal of his career, and that's the start Glenelg wanted. There's a bit of a roar there. There's a few Bay supporters here tonight, but predominantly Norwood, as you'd expect. As there's a couple of interchanges on, Kite's off, and ex-Glenelg player Heath Culprit's come onto the wing, straight in front of us, and back to the centre. The umpire will hopefully toss it up this time.
So umpire Tony Day in the middle, yes, signals he's going to throw the ball up to Koshel and Cranston in the middle. Cranston gets a great knock down to his rover. Glenelg win that clearance. Grimer charges out, takes on a couple of red leg opponents, then sends the ball inside 50. Bounders back there for Norwood. Handballs backwards towards Jackman. He's in trouble. Over towards Lower. Redlegs maybe temporarily out of danger. No, not as it's ball sent back in by Block. Block sends it up. Good spoil there by Lower. Over towards Davis. He's in trouble. Tackled immediately. Chance there for McConnell. Trying to appeal for a free kick. Brett Zorzi picks up, runs the ball over the line, and we're going to have a boundary throw in.
Gee, McConnell's that X factor up there in that forward line. Actually made his league debut in round 1, 2006 against Norwood at this very stadium on a Friday night to open round 1 2 years ago.
As Koshel gets a lovely tap out to Jackman. It's Culprit now. They're moving the ball nicely, but they just can't quite get it past the centre, Norwood. Glenelg go through Mules. Just stops that attack as the ball's carried over the line. We're at the 13-minute mark of the Parade Sellers time clock, and we have 2-1-13, 0 Norwood. Not the start Norwood would have hoped. They would have liked to got out of the blocks. As Koshel and Cranston, who does most of the rucking. Koshel is getting lots of taps, but it's Glenelg now. Here's a chance for one of their big tools. It was Big Grimer. Not able to take it. Still Bode's under it. They're bringing the ball methodically in through Rewald. Once again, kick high and hope for one of the big tools. And it's worked this time. It's Big Seller. And that's the tactic of Glenelg. You've probably noticed, Daniel, all year. Just kick it in high. There's one of them will find it.
Exactly right. One of them will find it. And I reckon Seller's been pretty hard done by in the media. He's just turned 19, and I mean, he could still be eligible for the Glenelg under-19s at the moment, and that's how young he is. And
he's been playing for the Crows in the last few weeks.
It's just an amazing that just the media spotlight on him, that he's not performing. But gee, he's only 19 years of age.
Well, let's see how his kicking is. It's a beautiful kick straight through the middle, and this is worrying signs for Norwood. Trevor Hill would have to say that their defence, as it is with most SANFL clubs, finds it very hard to match up on this very tall forward line. I'm saying it for weeks now that Glenelg have this is their ace. They've got a good midfield and a steady defence, but it's those tall players that they don't even they look for them, do they? Just kick it up high, one of them will mark it, and there's a perfect example.
Exactly right there, Jim. You just can't keep them all down when you've got Seller, Grimer, Kirkby and Doldig as the big forwards, and then McConnell and Bode roaming around, and also Backwell. Certainly the best forward line in the SANFL at the moment.
Great bounce there by the umpire. Koshel gets the knock, but it's going to favour Glenelg. A couple of their players dive on top of it. We'll have another stalemate. So hasn't been much kicking up. Of course, Norwood going to left the screen, the Copy World end of the ground, Boodle Road. Aish over the top. Campbell onto Weatherald. A kick forward. Puopolo and Panozzo battle it out. Colpert there to lend a hand, as well as Mules, and we're going to have another boundary thrown. And special comments thanks to the North East Club at Gillis Plains, Daniel Frankos.
Well, just the amount of play Glenelg have had, as you said, it just hasn't been down the Norwood forward line at all, and they've just got to give Blackco a chance, at least get it down there, and he's certainly an accurate kick if they do get it down to him, but at the moment, Glenelg just have all the play.
Cranston wins the ruck again, and was there a throw in there? Yes, there was.
Well, here's their chance.
Got to get something out of this.
Perhaps only their second entry into the forward 50. So gets it on to Lower. Loads up. Vlatko's got 3 backmen to beat.
Clever kick.
Yeah, Glenelg prevailed. Chance there. Good courage shown there. Good punch over the top by Jackman. Dygan's in the van now, but it's going to beat him over the line. We have a boundary thrown. 16.5 minutes gone on the parade sellers time clock.
Yeah, I said it was a clever kick because he was under a bit of siege back there, and he at least cleared the area and didn't worry about a handball, just got it out of the area, which was good.
Okay, it's Cranston who's got the tap. Norwood have got a chance here. They really need a goal at this stage of the game. They don't want Glenelg to blow out this early. Stacks in the middle. The umpire's going to come in for probably a ball up at this stage. I think the bounce. Who was the one that bounced that well last time? Damien?
I haven't picked up the...
I think one of them can bounce well and maybe the others not. But as we come out now, it's Ty Allen. Handball out the block. Right in front of us here in the Pine Lodge commentary
another
box.
free kick here. Another free kick they pulled out to the Tigers.
Perhaps it was Michael Avon calling.
Okay, yeah, can bounce.
White man can bounce. But because Michael Avon is a AFL umpire.
That's right, they learn to bounce, but most of the SANFL's umpires will throw it up, and like if you can't bounce, don't bother. Just stick with throwing it up. As we go in there, Grime is looking dangerous as Glenelg have got out of it. Glenelg's back forward line now, got to the middle of the ground, and the umpire this time will stop play, give it an opportunity. Cranston has been in great form for Glenelg this year in the ruck, up against Coach Shell, wins the tap. Too many players around the ball to clear a tap, but Cranston picks up their own ball. Over to Young Holmes. Nice kick into the forward line. And he's found somebody. He's found one of those targets.
That's that man again, Seller.
Yes.
Leave him.
It's the seller at the parade.
The parade sellers will be pretty happy with Seller getting a piece of it tonight.
And I think you're right, Daniel. He has been not so much maligned, but a little bit big expectations on the guy. And geez, just a bit player in that forward line. That's the trouble. They all can't do it, but tonight might be his turn. It's been McConnell most of the year.
I'd like to see him just left on the ground. Just left on the ground tonight and see how he goes.
Lovely kick. It's going straight through the middle. I think, no, the umpire's weaving and waving there, and he's just given it off hands. It was very close. I reckon it was a centimetre in it, and he would have got another goal.
And of course, if Norwood win tonight, they will definitely remain in 4th spot. But if they lose, it's likely that they'll fall out of the 5 and 4 to 6 spot going into the state game break. So it's a pretty big game for the Redlegs.
Well, a pretty big game for both clubs. I think Glenelg would like to go through with 7 wins in a row.
And top spot.
Yeah. So, Doldig there. Handballs to a teammate. And umpire's picked out a free. Going to Young Holmes. That's his second free kick.
And he'll get a 25 metre.
25, yes, sorry, in this competition.
And I reckon this is a chance to get another goal.
So many options up here, guys.
So Holmes sending Glenelg inside 50. Chance for Nitschke there. Overruns the football. Ruwalt gets a handball out. So does Zorzi. Finds Colpert. He slips. Over towards Jackman now. Nord in trouble again as Fisher swoops on it, but he's missed. And a let off there for the Redlegs as Glenelg moved to 3-3-21 on the Cockatoo Ridge 1 scoreboard. 19
minutes in, or just hit the 20-minute mark, and as I say, still no score to Norwood in perfect conditions. Worrying signs for Trevor Hill. They've got no one to kick to at the moment. got to go long. And it's definitely got Glenelg so far that are dominating this game. Over the ball now, and we'll have yet another stoppage. And that will suit probably Glenelg. I know you say it'll suit Norwood, but when you've got momentum, Norwood probably need to sort of get the ball forward and start happening. As the bounce comes, Cranston onto the hinge. Kicks into the half-forward line, right on the 50-metre mark. Young Holmes is in everything again. On to Matty Bode. Could he kick a goal here? Looks very good. Big man fly off hands again. Gee, they've had some scoring opportunities, Norwood. Dominating at the moment.
Gee, Grimer's looking dangerous. He just looks like at any moment he could take this game apart, but hasn't... you know, he's only kicked one goal, but he's just looking very dangerous up there.
Well, I think at the moment, all the Norwood backmen are under siege at the moment. All these attacks by Glenelg. It'd probably be about a dozen forward entries to about 2 at this stage of the game. As Norwood is slowly working their way out of the defensive 50. Comes to bound. Now, here's a promising move as Donahue sends Norwood into attack, but there's a poor kick on that occasion. And it's found Sugars in the defensive 50. Now he elects to go grandstand wing because he's got Rurolt right in front of us here. Takes it on the chest. Dishes off towards Sherwood. He goes short. He's found a teammate up the field in his Grimer well up the ground. Chips across to Rurolt. Sends Glenelg inside 50. Punched away. Colpert tackled immediately when he gets the football. Gets it out. Puopolo in a lot of trouble as well. A lot of pressure applied by Glenelg at the moment, keeping Norwood contained around the packs, Daniel.
So now what's actually happened now, Seller has now moved into the midfield area. So he's actually dropping back as a loose man in defence now. Doldig in the ruck.
Okay, it's now we're at the 22-minute mark. Still no really serious attack by Norwood. They're trying very hard, but this is where they break down. They kick it blind. Aish is a chance, but Mills is in front. Beautiful teamwork. Over to the Forest and Sherwood. Oh, big man fly, and it's taken at the back by Matty Bode.
Gee.
The least likely bloke.
Oh, no, but a free kick going towards Cochelle for a push in the back, I believe.
Maybe that's why the pack will rush forward.
25 now. Here's an opportunity for Norwood. Now, just notice, Daniel, a couple of times Mills on Aish. Mills has taken front position about 3 or 4 occasions.
Geez, a heart and soul of that Glenelg side, Mills.
Good mark at the back by Nitschke. Well, it drops, but it waxes with Zorzi. Zorzi on towards Weatherald. Weatherald back to Zorzi. He's going to try and mount an attack from the full back line. Sends Norwood inside 50, but the kick is astray again, unfortunately, in the delivery.
What's Zorzi doing down there?
Well, trying to... well, the best form of attack, best form of defence is attack.
I guess what we didn't see on the screen then was Seller just plugging up that hole. He's now moved into the ruck now, and he's moved out of the forward line, and he's having a bit of a run around the ground.
Okay, here's a big chance for Norwood now, but once again, it's Matty Bode. I think he's best on ground at the moment. He's had about 7 or 8 kicks as he kicks the ball into the wing area. Big Cochelle, the power-listed player, handball's back. But that's broken up. Grimer in there. He's playing well. Over to another... Norwood to break that up through Jackman. They're just not filling under the pressure. Once again, Holmes. This time there's the open opportunity again. The forward line's very open. Rory Corkby's in there, but beaten the ball this time. Better play by Norwood as they're able to clear this attack. Really desperate need. Ben Mills is in front. There's Big Grimer. What a great find for Glenelg. Recruit of the year, in my opinion. Very lucky. Central Districts were going to recruit him because his brother was there, but North Melbourne were able to poach his brother away, and on he came.
And he's pretty mobile as well, isn't he, Grimer? He can hold down full forward or centre half forward, or he can roam around and play as that floating half forward flank.
Well, he is doing that tonight. Probably he's been more down the goal square most of the year, but tonight he is coming forward a lot, and he's presenting problems to the Norwood defence.
And that just suits the Glenelg forward line perfectly with those big tools. And you know, if say Seller went up to the Crows and Doldig got injured, then Grimer could move back to the goal square. So he's
plenty of options.
Plenty of options.
So another stoppage. Ty Allen there for Glenelg. They have a boundary throw in. Nearly 25 minutes gone on the Parade Sellers time clock. Of course, they'll match any advertised price on any wine, spirit, or your favourite ale. As boundary umpire sends the ball back in. Lower at the bottom of the pack. Did he get a shove? No. Play goes on, but we're going to have another stoppage. It's either now Glenelg have either locked it up at the stoppages, or they've been able to win the clearance, Daniel, I think, in this quarter.
Well, they certainly have, and Sella showing a bit of form here in the ruck.
And another boundary throwing.
And of course, Sella was told by the Crows during the week not to train with them. He was actually sent back to Glenelg this week to train with Glenelg, so he was told he definitely wouldn't be chosen by the Crows. So he's probably a bit fired up as well tonight.
Okay. Probably the best game he's played all year too so far. I think
Certainly is.
He's one of the best players on the ground. As we now we reached the 26-minute mark of the first quarter on the Parade Sellers time clock, as once again a stoppage again. And it's not going anywhere. Almost a full moon out there behind the play. Looks great for a Friday night.
Whoa.
Last Friday night game at the Parade this year, I think, as Panozzo now dashes past us and delivers the ball. Norwood are in front through Koshel, but Pilo, handball on, under extreme pressure. Murphy takes the interception. Over to Panozzo again. He just takes height on, but scrags the kick. Murphy again, onto Ty Allen, caught up. Norwood showing a little bit more tenacity here, but they still really don't look like they're a long way from the score.
Well, they can't seem to find any space then.
That's the only thing. It seems like Glenelg are up by about 7 or 8 goals, doesn't it? But they're only they've only kicked 3-0. So it's not as if Glenelg have they've got to probably kick a few more goals. The amount of possession they've had, they've only kicked 3 goals for 22.
And we're going to have another stoppage.
Well, that's bad signs for Norwood though, that they haven't even got into gear yet, and but Norwood just don't look at all able to score.
So Campbell, who was in good form last week for the Redlegs, handball out to Donahue, just misses the mark, but Donahue was able to get out of it. Lower takes on a couple of opponents, sends it back towards Nitschke as a quarter-time siren sounds. 27 minutes that quarter lasted, as the Cockatoo Ridgewine scoreboard leads Glenelg 3-4-22. And Norwood yet to score. You got the goal scorers there.
Yes, I have to compete against the ground announcement, but it's very easy. Goal kickers for Norwood. That's it. Goal kickers for Glenelg. Grimer, Holmes and Sella. Perhaps, as Daniel said, not enough considering the amount of play they had, but 22-point lead, they'll take that any time.
So pop your DVD on pause and we'll be right back with the second quarter. Well, that second quarter about to get underway here at the Parade. Of course, Glenelg 22 points up. Umpire recommences play. Bounce in the middle, but he's going to have to recall this. No, he doesn't. I thought it bounced down to the middle. Anyway, chance for Lower. Has an airy. Weatherald there in the bottom of the pack, and we're going to have another stalemate.
And, well, we might be able to call the Copy World sponsor a few times this quarter,
Yes,
guys. Glenelg kicking to the Copy World end.
I was just thinking that. I don't think they realised they were a sponsor, the way Norwood performed that quarter.
Didn't get down there too much at all.
In fact, yeah, almost. Well, the score line indicates that, 0.
So, umpire again bounces the ball. Tyrrell and Cranston opposed to each other. Kite picks up, dishes off to Lower, sends a left foot kick, not the best kick. Chance there for Walker, not wearing the long sleeves tonight. Little players appeared to be tackled high. Sugars there for Glenelg, wanted to play on, no, now he goes back off the mark.
And Norwood wearing their away strip too at home. Is that the clash issue?
It's a clash, it's the clash, yeah.
Well,
it's a non-clash.
It is a debate in AFL circles. So if Glenelg are the away side, maybe they should wear the clash jumper, but they haven't got one. James Gallagher now kicks the ball in. It's not chance for Norwood through Velarco, but he's not able to take it. Glenelg hold it up. The umpire's giving him the free. Best chance for Norwood for the whole match. They zone off here. It's Ben Kane. Lovely long kick right in the centre.
Ooh.
Doldig's under. We haven't seen Doldig do anything yet. Doesn't matter. There's plenty of other stars in their forward line as Jackman He's known as the quarterback by Trevor Hill, as the man that sort of runs the ball out of defence for them, the go-to man.
Did well on that occasion to get the ball away from Ty Allen.
He's a pretty underrated player, isn't he? The former South Adelaide player, and you know, he's been under siege in that first quarter, but he's got to keep standing up now.
So Cranston palms the ball. Bode in best position, front of the pack. Was that deliberate? No. So another boundary throw in.
Steak sandwiches smelling nice tonight, guys, when you haven't had any tea.
Are they a sponsor?
Well, we can make them one. I wish they were.
Cockatoo Ridge smelling pretty good too, I think.
Yeah. Well, I just spilled mine.
Yeah.
There's Bode there fighting at the bottom of the pack. Looks like we're going to have another stoppage. I reckon that's about 5 this quarter so far. Or might have to check with the umpires at half time how many stoppages we've had. Well, I think we're going for a record tonight. Hasn't been a free-flowing game here.
No.
Lower. Just a bit of an indiscriminate kick there.
I think we're all expecting a free-flowing game. Glenelg's style of footy is all about that. North supporters are happy with the free
They're
kick
happy with
there.
that one.
And it's in the John Wynn pocket there from the Sam's Disco days.
Now, it's just, all right, we're back to, yep. So Campbell sends Norwood inside 50, but free kick to Glenelg, so they'll rebound, but yeah, in trouble there was Fisher. Doldig sends the ball on towards Kane. Met solidly by Lower, bounces off him, sends it back to Panozzo. Panozzo gets it back again, eludes a Norwood opponent and comes through the middle of the ground now, looking for Doldig. Did he get shoved in the back? No, he didn't. And big Tyrrell there for the Redlegs as the player has crept over the mark, so he'll get the benefit of 25 metres. And he'll send the Redlegs back into attack. So Norwood have started a little better this term.
Well, Kirkby was thrown to the ground there. I mean, he couldn't have possibly...
Was he thrown or did he take a dive?
Well, he should have got about a
Bit of a
9.5 for that dive. Because I think he was definitely pushed, looked to me.
Certainly looked like it, but I guess Glenelg have had a good run tonight so far with the umpires.
They've had most of the free zone. They've deserved. They've played in front. Here's Murphy now. He's been lively. He can't get away. 2 players are on him. One of them being Zorsey. The other young Donahue kicked 6 goals against Port Adelaide a few weeks ago. They need him to spark them again. As Panozzo's had 2 or 3 telling possessions this quarter, right into the centre of the ground with that one. As Sugars is it that knocks the ball forward. Kane, he's been in everything. Norwood a bit more intense this quarter. They need to be.
Well, I think the Redlegs were intense enough, but I don't think they were just able to get the ball away from the stoppages.
Well, I guess if Norwood kicked the first goal of this quarter, suddenly they're only 2 goals behind. So it certainly seems like they're down by a lot more.
They haven't been put away, you're saying. And they could
no,
have been.
They certainly haven't been put away.
As Kite runs away from the contest there. Now, this looks promising for the Redlegs. As Koshel at the back there, but Panozzo reads it best, palms it out towards a teammate. Did he get a tackle? Yes, he did, so play's allowed to go on. No advantage there to the Glenelg side, so the kick will go back to Panozzo on the full back line.
Should have taken that mark, Koshel. That was their best chance all night. As Panozzo now, he's racked up getting touches this time. Over to the captain, Benny Mills. Saw him play his 100th game a few weeks ago. As he now down the centre line there to Kirkby. Playing very, very well down the ground tonight, Kirkby. As I think they're trying to keep the open forward line if they can. Bring some of them out. It's time the big Kendall, is it? Tyrrell. Ken Tyrrell. Over to the Crows listed player in Kite. There's running players everywhere here at the moment.
Good running there by Rowe from centre forward to present. Now the umpire calls play on, so he's got to go back to Kite. Kite now on the half-back line, bit unsure on where to go, so he elects to transfer play to the outer side. Got Jackman free out there. Jackman goes short. He's got a player on the wing in Davis.
Very stop-start by Norwood.
Yeah. Now they want to send it in long now. Up towards Walker there at the back. Glenelg prevail. Good fly by Rowe.
Oh,
Gallagher
gee.
gets a high knock, unnoticed by the umpire. Chance there for...
Geez, they're
is
going
it
to play
Kane,
down, guys,
but
off
it's
the
a couple
ball.
of players down
Two
there.
down. I reckon they've clashed heads. They have.
And
It's Gallagher for Norwood, and who is it for Glenelg? Is it one of the...
looks like Fisher.
Fisher.
Yeah.
But play will continue. Here they go.
So into the forward 50, Seller
Oh.
at the back, but it was marking everything that quarter. But on this occasion, Brett Zorzi, who's been a stout defender this year, of course, for the Redlegs, sends it in the back pocket where Jesse Aish is a fair way up from the half-forward position. Sends it out centre wing. Campbell there. Handballs towards Gallagher, so he seems to be all right from that knock. Handballs up the ground. Holmes will read it best. Sends it over towards Murphy. His kick is smothered. Nitschke takes on an opponent, then sends it out towards Rowe. Rowe now inside 50 for Norwood. Good mark by Walker. And this is a promising and hopefully Taylor Walker remaining an exciting debut for the Redlegs. Will get Norwood's first.
Well, you've got two exciting young Crows listed players. Walker at one end of the ground for Norwood, Seller at the other. And yeah, Walker, as you said, normally does wear the long sleeves, and it's normally a warmer night than this. It's probably the coldest night we've had here at Norwood Oval, and
Might be a fashion statement. That way,
Unbelievable.
sleeves doesn't
Yeah,
like them.
no, okay. Interesting.
might be it, but
Well, either that or what. This is what temperature's like in Broken Hill all the time. But
He's
as
missed.
Walker's missed.
Speaking of Broken Hill, he kicked 7 goals in the grand final, the senior grand final in 2007 when he was only 17 years of age. So he's got great potential, young Walker. Big raps on him.
well, at least they're off the mark. They've finally scored, so it's Glenelg 22, Norwood 1.
So
And first score at the, well, still not the Copy World end, is it? Well, it's the only way to get a mention, say it wrong.
Not one score at the Copy World end at the
gee,
moment.
they've jinxed it.
As it's the parade end, it's getting all the scores tonight. Parade sellers in fact.
Yes,
Yeah,
you could say that, Jim.
They're
yeah.
getting all the. all
Although
the raps.
sellers
We've
at
got
the
Seller-
Copy World end. So there we go. We've given the sponsors a good run. As Glenelg prevail from that contest, a scrubby old kick by Ty Allen only goes as far as
Here's
Witherell.
their
Now,
chance.
here's a chance for Lower. Was his kick touched, but he's missed everything, almost everything. Yes, everything, out of bounds on the full. Another bad miss to the Redlegs, and we're going to have a kick in by Glenelg, Daniel.
And Laura, of course, his twin brother. I believe they're pretty much similar the way they play as well, and his twin brother is actually lining up in the North Melbourne midfield this round, so bit of a difference.
Gee.
Well, I think they would be similar if they're twins, Daniel.
No doubt about that. Identical as well.
Well, they used to
Didn't
call
mention
them.
that.
They used to call them both Ned Lower because no one could tell them apart.
Nick and Ned.
They
Yes.
play exactly the same,
Yeah.
just the way they, almost their style of kicking and everything is identical.
So as Jesse Ace kicks into a flooded forward line, punched there towards Puopolo. Did he get a high tackle? No. Play on. Good handball by Walker on towards Rowe. And finally the Redlegs get their first. It's taken about 12, probably a quarter and a half to get their first major on the board through the agency of Sam Rowe.
Well, as I said in that first quarter, it was like Glenelg were up by 7 or 8 goals, and they, as Jim said earlier in the call, Glenelg actually haven't put Norwood away. Suddenly, the margin is now 15 points, and if Norwood can get a bit of a run on here, well, we could have a pretty even game.
Well, anyone would think there was about a 6-goal wind blowing down that end because all the attacking has been at that end.
Now, just to move, we saw Donahue bob up against Port Adelaide in a night game, kicking 6 goals. He's now in the middle, so perhaps a couple of moves by Coach Trevor Hill just to try and get the right balance through the middle.
Well, they've got to counter Cranston because he's the leading tap ruckman in the SANFL this season.
As Puopolo wins the tap on that occasion, over towards Nitschke. He's in trouble, confronted immediately. Block sends it out towards Holmes. Holmes now on towards a teammate. Gang tackled by the Redlegs, and we're going to have another stoppage.
Next goal's pretty big, guys. You can just feel the intensity of the Norwood side's lifted, the crowd's lifted, and certainly if they get the next goal, it's game on.
Okay, it's Ty Allen now. Lovely handball on to Johnny Hinge. Lovely kick. 1 point. And that's the first score at the Copywood end of the game, end of the ground all night. And it's taken us to about halfway through the second quarter. That's O'Donoghue now, onto James Gallagher. Lovely kick onto Kite. It's a former Crow onto a current Crow listed player, onto a Power listed player in Lauer. There's a lot of them out here tonight. I think they're everywhere. As this time, Norwood once again try and stop that Glenelg defence from blocking all their attacks, which was the case in the first quarter. And most of the night we're going to see Coachell and Cranston. They're locking arms here at the moment. They're almost like they're having a dance at the moment. And look at that, the tango. But it was Cranston again. He's a dominant ruckman in the SANFL, as Daniel said. Here's McConnell. He's been quiet by his standards. Looks like he's in the midfield. And has played a bit in the midfield this year, Daniel.
Oh, you just expect McConnell will bob up at any time, though, won't he? He's that type of player. Goes missing for periods of a game and then can just bob up with a couple of quick goals.
So Piropolo from that last stoppage. Norwood win a clearance there, but boundary line, probably a good result there for the Redlegs. Just noticed in the Glenelg forward line, Daniel, though, you've just got a couple of forwards in Seller and Kirkby down there. Now, just before I just saw McConnell down there, so perhaps Mark Meccan is rotating those key forwards.
And they got Grimer as well, so they've just mixing it up a bit at the moment.
And Piopio just had that kick. If they had their best and fairest next week, would he just about win it?
Absolutely, yes. He's been great form this
even
year.
When they've been losing, he's been starring for
We saw him out there at Elizabeth taking on Centrals and performed very well that night, as we see Adam Koshel take a mark. Half back for the Redlegs. Not the best of kicks. Allows McConnell in. Here he comes on the 50. Good tackle there by Donoghue, but doesn't affect the kick. High leap on the back line there by Dygan.
What a
but it falls towards Grimer. Great pickup and sends the first goal towards the Copy World end of the ground. Glenelg get their fourth, and they move to 4-5-29, leading Norwood 1-1-7 on the Cockatoo Ridge Wine scoreboard. Special comments thanks to the North East Club out at Gillis Plains, Daniel Frangos.
Grimer, Todd Grimer, remember that name. Oh, I think he's a chance, like his brothers. His brothers are currently on AFL rookie lists, and of course his brother Nathan played in the Central's premiership side in defence, and Todd Grimer, the way he picked that up, one grab in the dewy conditions, which you probably can't pick up on the screen at the moment, but it is pretty dewy underfoot, and he's been a live wire up there tonight.
Wasn't he in the Geelong rookie list last year anyway?
And the Geelong VFL premiership side last season.
Yep, okay, it's this chance again for Glenelg now. That's annulled that goal. Fisher now, or Cranston I think it was, kicks the ball into the half-forward line. Rory Cook, Seller is it again, and over to Rewald. They're handballing well at the moment, but it is the Jude seems to get them because they're slipping a bit. But Rewald now has a chance to run into the open goal and sprayed it badly. Gee whiz. What a waste. He's been a bit of underrated player, Rewald, in that star-studded Glenelg lineup.
Yeah, he's the one that gets under the guard. They've got those McConnell and Backwell, the two small forwards, and Bode as well roaming around, and Rewald seems to get the probably the worst defender, and he often does slip under the guard.
So Jackman from the back pocket. Got Zorzi presenting. Thumped away by Seller. We're going to have a boundary throw in.
Gee, Seller looks on tonight. Just his body language. He's commanding, at full forward now at the moment, and he just looks pretty positive with his body language and the way he's moving around the ground.
And perhaps it's probably done him some good to spend some time with his Glenelg teammates this week on the training track.
Certainly has.
So Rucks at it. Glenelg again win the clearance as Bode goes goalward, sends it forward, wrestling in the square. McConnell can't keep Zorzi away. Norwood prevail here. Jackman just boots it out of the goal square there, out towards Kite and Combs. Ruwald, good slip over and recovery there, but unfortunately he doesn't, unable to find a teammate. Stalemate results, and we're going to have a ball up. 17 minutes gone on the Parade Sellers time clock.
Okay, it's big. It's Cranston dominating in ruck once again. They can't get the takeaway. It's back to the umpire. We've probably played. It's hard to say on their scoreboard. Probably over 20 minutes on the Parade Sellers time clock. Plus, okay, about 17. Our own the Pine Lodge time clocks had a malfunction, so we're just relying on no technology at the moment. But as we now move on, as the Glenelg threatening to kick a goal here, could 17 minutes in, could actually put a bit of a space on them.
Just an interesting stat, guys. Before tonight, Glenelg were the most accurate team in the league, kicking 109 goals and 55 points as they get a free kick here. And Norwood are the most inaccurate team in the league, and Norwood actually, no game this season have they kicked more goals than points.
Thanks for that, Bruce McAvaney.
Interesting. Well, I mean,
Amazing,
and that's a result of their percentages as well. You look at Glenelg's percentage, it's pretty healthy, and Norwood's is below 50%. So
yeah.
Another shot on goal by Glenelg, a high fly there.
That was Cranston, went up, they kicked the ball.
But Jackman has a kick smothered.
Bode, what a smother.
And now the boundary throw-in.
It's interesting with percentages too. Port Adelaide are currently 8th, and their percentage is very close to 50. So
lost a lot of close games, haven't they?
That's proof of that.
Gee, Bode's been good tonight, and not even in the SANFL state squad of 31. So
have you managed to put McConnell in there, Daniel?
No, he's not in either.
As Bryce Campbell, handballs to Koshel, Gallagher. Koshel kick smothered. Certainly Norwood have got their hands full. McConnell, good pick up in the dewy conditions. Nice balk there. Now, will he do it again? No, he doesn't. He's got Allen there. Goes one way, then the other back in board towards Cranston. Gets a kick on straight away. But chance for Norwood. Dygan onto lower. He's going to be set upon. Has to get rid of it. He's supposed to dispose of it correctly. A high tackle there on Bode. Got unnoticed. Umpire blindsided there. And we're going to have another stoppage.
Unbelievable. Clearly around the head.
Yep. But not that you're biased at all, Daniel. He was there, yep. As Norwood now through Bryce Campbell onto Zolsi. They're messing around with the moment. It's just waiting for them to take the opportunity. Zolsi again, he's trying very hard. Panozzo, one of the best on the ground. Rewald, can he make up for that bad kick the last time? Spots it up. He's got Kirkby under it. He's taken a great mark. Here's the strength. We mention it every week. If it's not Seller, if it's not McConnell, this time it's Kirkby. He only does a little part in that side.
And they just seem to kick it in long and direct and not actually to anyone in particular in that Glenelg forward line. They know that they've got those 4 big tools up there. McConnell crumbing around and Bode, so they can just bang it up there and hope for the best.
As Kirkby's kick offline, I nearly put that one down. Geez, he let me down. It's certainly not the scoring end tonight. The Cockby World Beulah Road end of the ground.
Unbelievable.
But things are going well at Cockby World. Don't be mistaken by this poor accuracy at their end.
Well, they're defending well tonight. They really are defending very well.
It's just not happening for the Redlegs tonight. It's Glenelg have just really got them under control at the moment. As play recommences, Grimer sends it back inside 50, and loose players there with a quick turnover, and Krusty Bode's got the mark and should have no trouble getting Glenelg's 5th.
And they're the 2 players that could take Glenelg from a, what was it, a 4th place last year to a possible grand final, because they weren't in the Glenelg side last year. Well, I wouldn't say that this early. It's a long way to go, but Grimer and Bode, of course, have been 2 of their best players this season, but certainly they weren't there at all last year.
And another interesting set as we watch Bode go goalwards, makes no mistake. So Glenelg on the Cockatoo Ridge Wine scoreboard are 5-6-36, leading Norwood 1-1-7. And just looking at the turnover from last season, Norwood have a very long list, as opposed to Glenelg, which was one of the smallest turnovers, and 2 of those players were former Crows.
Former Glenelg players as well, Bode and Hinge, Hinge played a lot for Glenelg last year, and Grimer's the only really big recruit, and he's probably, as Jim said earlier, the recruit of the season.
Oh, without doubt, and I'd say I think they paid a lot of money for him too, which was a good move, because you need something like that, just from finishing 4th to winning a premiership.
Just quickly, would you see Brett Backwell? Has he been to the hairdressers this week? He's got a rinse through his hair.
Certainly has. It looks like it. It's not as looks a bit darker, doesn't it? Or a bit more of an orangey colour.
Yeah, orangey. Very, very odd. Maybe he's the new Krusty. Okay, ball comes back into play. There he is, back well. Oh, ducks. Yes, and he gets a free.
I don't know about ducks. I think he just slipped.
Well,
and
perhaps
the tackle slipped after that.
but
Just
slipped at
didn't he?
the
And
appropriate moment.
He was pretty lucky, but he just happened to slip into it.
Okay, Backwell right on centre wing now. Looks like he's lining up for goal, the way he's saying up there, but he's very optimistic. He's going to go
no
long.
one on the mark.
No, he's it's an up and under. He's going to bring rain with that one. Terrible kick as gives Norwood defenders a chance to pop up. There's Krusty Boat again, best on ground, as we've said. Rewald having a good influence as well. Murphy into that man, Grimer, but he's met heavily. His opponents, Kendrick Tyrrell knocks it on. Going to be another ball up. We're now 23 minutes in and still 1-1 on the board, Norwood. Bit of a worrying sign. Conditions aren't that bad to have that such a low score at half-time. Credit to Glenelg.
And there's another shot on goal, but minor score result. So perhaps just still not quite shutting the gate at the moment on the Redlegs.
No, they certainly haven't. You know, it does feel like, Glenelg are up by about 10 goals at the moment.
Oh,
but
they're just completely
they're
dominating.
only up by 29 points.
So ball comes back into play. Culprit there. Again, out towards the outer side. Aish provides the lead. It's honoured.
There's nothing on, and this is where they're breaking
well,
down.
again, with the flooding through the middle of the ground, Jesse Aish just goes up the line. Good mark there, taken by Sam Rowe. He's presented well at centre-half
Good
forward.
kick.
Good kick, yes. Switches out towards Dygan, running from fullback. This is looking promising. Up towards Walker, punched away from him. Kite swoops on it. Good hand pass there, Puolopolo. Trapped in the pocket. Back to Vlatko. He's tackled immediately, and we're going to have another stoppage in the Sam's Disco pocket. Special comments, thanks to the North East Club, Daniel Frangos.
Gee, Bode's and everything at the moment. He's he's on the ball. He's roaming around up forward, and now he's, as we said, having a bit of a run in the midfield and just going in hard, tackling and getting the ball out.
Out of bounds there on that pocket there on the western side of the ground. The Sam's Disco side, as it's known to the Pine Lodge commentary team. I don't know where that started, but it's good. By the way, if you're new to Adelaide, the Sam's Disco's long been knocked over.
Same with the Packers Disco and the Bay Disco.
Well, the whole building's gone here, though.
Almost on the dance floor at the moment, the way that umpire's throwing it in.
We're now on the moved it on along a little bit as Panozzo having a good quarter. On to Fisher. Here we have Chewy Bound battling hard right in front of us here in the Pine Lodge commentary team. Tyrrell now. Trying to get it out is Grimer. Oh, Dogan overruns it, but comes back for it again. And Lucky should have got the free kick. He was. They were in his back, young Holmes.
Yes.
And they'll throw it up.
Probably in the AFL it would have been, wouldn't it?
Yep.
But SANFL seemed to let it go.
So umpire Corey Bowen, perhaps another AFL umpire, bounces a football. Bryce Campbell gets a handball over towards Captain Gallagher, back to Campbell. This is good clearance there by the Redlegs, on towards the running Kite. Sends the ball inside 50, bit too far for Blatko, punched away from him. Chance for Gallagher to swoop on it again. Picked up by Kite, handballs over towards Rowe. Rowe on the right boot, sends it goalward. Seller going back for Glenelg, takes a mark on the last line of defence. And he'll send the Bays rebounding again.
This round one, you're out here, Damien, when Norwood played Sturt. Norwood kicked 4 goals for the night, Sturt kicked 15. It's sort of the going along in that sort of vein again, isn't it? This sort of game. They're going to be lucky to score 4 the way they're going.
Yeah, actually, a similar sort of game. No, I think Norwood actually matched Sturt for the first quarter and a half that night.
What's interesting is that I've been a big advocate of Friday night games here, and I'm hoping that they actually program almost every Norwood home game here, but the Redlegs have only won one of these 5 games. And
drawn one,
So, don't have a great record in night football here.
So, half-time siren sounds in the Pine Lodge Friday night SANFL match of the night. As we look to the Cockatoo Ridge Wine scoreboard, it reads Glenelg 5-7-37, leading Norwood 1-1-7, and major goal scorers there, Jim.
Well, the major goal scorer for Norwood is Rowe. He's kicked 1. And for Glenelg, a lot harder. Grime has bobbed up with 2, and he's played very well. Holmes, Matty Bode, Breast on ground with 1, and James Seller, also another good player with 1 goal.
So we'll see if the Redlegs can fight back hard in the second half. Put your DVD on pause, and we'll be right back with the second half. Half commences here at the parade. Glenelg out of the middle once more. Kirkby leading Digan to the ball. Throws it out off the deck there, over towards Kane. Sends it back in the middle where Fisher is free. Has Murphy running in support. A high kick. Nitschke in best position. It's just going to drop short. Chance there for Doldigs. Wheels around. Over towards Grimer. Wrestled out of it. Holmes on towards Hinge. Around the body. Kick smothered. And we're going to have a boundary thrown. Now, quickly, guys, I just went up to the umpire's observer, and we had 39 field bounces in that first half of footy.
Yep.
Michael Avon leading the way with 13.
And they were good bounces too.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was a very scrappy first half, as you can say. There wasn't a game that we expected it to be. We thought it would be a fast-flowing, entertaining game. A bit of a what you called it a Sydney Swan style of.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Maybe perhaps the influence of the ex-Swans is coming through. Perhaps Trevor Hill was on the phone to Paul Roos this week, and Norwood perhaps locking down Glenelg and hopefully fighting back in the second half. Is 30 points too much for them, Daniel?
Well, not if they get a run on, not if they kick a few goals, but it's not looking likely.
So Nitschke, backed up by Digan, takes on an opponent, but smothered by McConnell. Good work there. Nitschke has another go. On towards Gallagher. Sideway handball. Block in best position. It's got Guymer free in the pocket if it just sits up for him. No, he's wrestled out of it. And what's happened there? He didn't dispose of it correctly.
25 metres as well.
So Norwood would take the free kick in the back pocket there in front of the faithful on Coopers Hill. And I tell you what, that crowd on Coopers Hill has swelled up to well over 5,000. Not as many as 25,000 we had here a couple of weeks ago.
Gee, that was big.
I think you're bloody counting the legs, Damien. As Thomas Panozzo on the half-back line, right onto the wing there. Played all right tonight, Kirkby. Playing way out of the forward line, though, quite a lot. Panozzo, what a game he's playing. He's getting a lot of possessions. Pumps it in long. Daughter in front, unable to take the mark. That's Shuey bound, trying hard. Once again, there's it's a battle of the defences here as they kick it out wide. Norwood's must get the next goal to be in this game. Fisher. He's found, is that Holmes or?
That was Holmes.
Holmes, yep. Back to Fisher again on the 1-2, Fisher. Good player, state player this year.
And yeah, Fisher actually, as you said there, one of Glenelg's 4 state players. Norwood unfortunately don't have any, but I think they've been a bit hard done by the legs. Brett Zorzi and perhaps James Gallagher could have at least made the squad of...
Made the squad, yeah. Depends what they're looking for. Zorzi is a fullback. They've probably got Archie sort of inked in for that position, so it's, you know...
Though he's been playing
up forward, so it's a bit of a...
I bet you'll play fullback in the state side, though. As Fisher now... Great shot for goal, the crowd roar. That could be an early nail. Not that 6-7 is a match-winning score, but 1-1 isn't a match-winning score, and that's the difference. They really don't look like kicking another 6 goals.
Gee, and as you said, Panozzo just creating a lot of rebound there from half-back, and he must love this ground because last year he kicked at the other end of the ground 6 of Glenelg's 9 goals.
So this week he set up 6.
It's amazing.
Just quickly, Daniel, I haven't spotted Tim Weatherworld for a while. We haven't called him, so perhaps that was an early injury to the Red Legs.
He did start in the middle at the start of the game, but we haven't really called him, you're right.
So... play recommences. Cranston there. Over towards Allen. Tackled, but still manages to get the handball away. On to Murphy. Handball on to Kane. Good work. Backed up by Murphy. Sends Glenelg inside 50. A high, good mark taken there by Grimer and Stewie Bound, who's been amongst Norwood's better defenders this year, along with Zorzy. Again, yeah, he's got his hands full tonight, Daniel.
Gee, Grimer, he's got something about him, hasn't he? A bit of an X factor up there. He's, you know,
he's classy.
He's pretty mobile as well. He can take those contested one-on-one marks, but he can also roam around like a half-forward flank, as we've said.
As he lets you down with
he
his
let
kick.
me down there, but he's just added a new dimension to that Glenelg forward line this year.
And his brother, Nathan Grimer, who played at Central Districts last year, as you said, in the premiership side, very similar sort of player. Very high-flying, versatile player. They called him the swing man down there. He could go forward, back, do it all.
And made the Advertiser Team of the Year, I believe, I think it was in the full-back position.
I think he played too well and they lost him. But it's now Norwood really have to collect something here and make something of this game, because that's fast slipping away from them as they just don't look in it tonight. As it's once again Fisher playing a great game. He's on the bottom of that pack. Umpire's going to have to sort it out. Crowd don't like it, but Glenelg have now got the free again. Parade end seems to be the scoring end tonight.
Here they go.
Norwood have got all their goals down there. As once again, it's Grimer.
Gee,
He's playing havoc. And he's been a danger to most sides this year. That game against Central Districts you guys covered, had a look at that, and he was, you talk about X Factor, he was the reason Glenelg won that game.
Took a few absolute speckies in that game that took the marks of the season. And
very ironic though, wasn't it, that it was the club he was going to, he did it to.
Yeah, they came back to haunt them.
Yep. Comes in now, he's a long way out. It's a nice kick. It's going to go through. I think that's, if that wasn't a nail before, once again, 7-8 to 1-1 on the Cockatoo Ridge scoreboard. That's that could be a match-winning lead.
Well, I'm going to say a comment here, guys. 1 goal, 4-10. Can you remember anything about that scoreline? 1 goal, 4-10.
I remember North Adelaide,
It's a
1 goal, 8.
trivia question, isn't it?
Bit of a trivia question. Well, 4 years ago, Glenelg, 2004, Glenelg kicked their lowest ever score in their history at Norwood Oval on a Friday night.
That's
1
right,
goal,
I was here
4.
for that game in
The embarrassment of the
2004.
competition, and now they are the front runners.
So Glenelg into attack once more. Zorzy. Will he concede it behind? No, he's tackled before he even gets an
Man
opportunity to make a decision there, and that's been the story of the night. I think Glenelg have been right on Norwood every time they've got the ball. Norwood really haven't been able to find space tonight, getting any free-flowing play going, Daniel.
Just haven't won enough of the ball as well, have they? Just out of the contest, just not winning enough of it at all.
As Bode again from the clearance, wheels around and sends Glenelg further ahead as they move to 8-8. Two fat ladies, 56, leading Norwood 1-1-7 on the Parade Sellers time clock. Of course, Parade Sellers will match any advertised price on your wine, spirit and favourite ale. And thanks to the North East Club out at Gills Plains, former under-15 champion for the Redlegs, Daniel Frankos.
Well, yeah. Okay, yeah. But no, well, Norwood's scoreline...
Might get a call up the way they're going tonight.
But Norwood's scoreline of 1 goal, 1-7 is...
Gee.
Well, it's less than Glenelg's 1-4-10 at the
Yeah,
moment.
that's
And
right.
a lot of Tiger supporters obviously remember that game.
There's
Weatherald.
Weatherald.
He's back on.
Yep, and they need him at the moment.
That experience, the oldest recruit.
That's
This
right.
year.
Well, he was actually virtually sacked from Sturt. He was told he wasn't going to get another game, which is much the same sort of thing by Rick McGowan because of his age, you know, and so he's going to really try and prove Sturt wrong.
It was a bit of a funny story. He went off for a wedding and then found he didn't have a place in the side. So.
Yeah, don't leave your seat. As
Amazing, isn't it?
as
Not his wedding, of course,
No.
was it? No.
not at his age. As it's Glenelg now. It's Cranston on the Mules. Game's really played at Glenelg. They're dictating everything at the moment. Norwood are really left floundering
gee.
as young Holmes now kicks the ball out. It is Weatherald now. He's met heavily. Great effort by young Holmes. He's the star of the future, this kid.
Ruwalt there.
Oh, it's Rewald. I saw the 7. Holmes was in earlier.
Oh,
Both about the same
they've
build.
both been brilliant.
Similar hairstyles. Glenelg
Same Guernsey.
with a gold sash there. As it's another boundary thrown down there. And thanks to the North East Club special comments, Daniel Frangos.
Yeah, as we've said, Glenelg haven't been in that top spot on the SANFL ladder for a long, long time. So that is looking like it could be happen to the Glenelg Footy Club tonight.
And there's Ty Allen out of the middle. This is Holmes this time. He should put it straight through for his second goal. Shit's all over here at Parade, I have to say. I can't see Norwood getting back now. As Holmes, and we mentioned off air at half-time that even though Norwood really weren't playing well, Glenelg weren't in top gear, but I reckon they've come out this quarter and some real stars emerging, and it's going to be hard to pick best players. They'll definitely be a Glenelg player.
Well, they call it the Premiership quarter, and yeah, the Tigers have just come out firing in this quarter. They've already kicked 4 goals, and we're only at the 10-minute mark here on the Parade Sellers time clock, and gee, they've come out
putting them away
blazing.
like we said they couldn't before.
Well, can Norwood get into gear? Gallagher thinks they can, but sends it inside, and one player, well, we haven't called much because he hasn't had to do much work. Rudolph has taken the mark back there. Glenelg immediately rebound. Sugars.
Quietest I've ever seen Rudolph, but as you say, he hasn't gone down there too often. But he does run forward.
Sends it up the line. Punch at the back, but Dygan, Gallagher there with the crumbs. Gets it back again from lower. Cut off by Puolopolo. Chance for Kite. Kite now. With Aish. He's been pretty quiet. Donahue, again, a lot of Redlegs players who we saw a fortnight ago. Very quiet tonight. Up towards Koshel, takes a nice mark.
Ironical cheers going up there, guys. This is a rare forward 50 entry for the Legs tonight.
Sends it inboard, looking for Vlatko. Chance there for Rowe. Oh, does well off the deck. Can't get the handball out. Glenelg managed it through Mules. Just blazes outwards because he heard the call from Kane. Kane picks up. Now props. Steadies, but kick, good smother there. Opportunity again for Glenelg with Cranston now, the big ruckman, but he's tackled. We're going to have a stalemate right in the middle.
And yeah, actually heard Trevor Hill on the radio last night saying it didn't really matter what the premiership table looks like at this time of the year, but you know, they had 4th spot there for the taking, and now they could drop as low as 6th. So it almost was a bit like a 4-point game for the Legs tonight.
And was the key word there. I think they've definitely blown it now. What are we, 8 goals, 7 behind? Couldn't possibly. If Glenelg lost this, they'd need to be swabbed. As Norwood now, through Gallagher, he's got a lot of the possessions in this quarter. He's probably doing it lone-handed as Walker's just come on the ground, tries to break a tackle. But there's Murphy. He's an underrated player too at Glenelg this year. On to one of the best on the ground in Fisher, playing on that wing. As Jackman, probably one-handed throw, but gets away with it. Goes out of bounds. Davis, the ex-North Adelaide player, has spent the last 4 years in Sydney though. Come with, what, 4 players over. Even Doyle, an ex-South Adelaide player, well, they all came to Norwood. But it's not doing them much good at the moment.
No, of course, Doyle played in the reserves, and Glenelg won that contest, 15-9-99, defeating Norwood, who were 79 points in the end, margin of 20 points. So Glenelg with the depth there as Mules breaking through, gets it out towards Murphy, eludes a couple of opponents, sends the ball to a teammate. Pretty high kick. Waiting back there is Weatherall. Let's see what he can do. We're in the number 11. On towards Aish. Looking for Rowe. Over the top comes Murphy. Puolopolo. Worried there by Mules. Nice little tap. Gets it back again. Takes on Donahue. Doesn't get around him. Probably see a boundary throw in. No, they don't give up here, Glenelg. They triumph in that contest. It's Fisher. Scrambles the forward. Dygan there for the Redlegs, sees the ball over the line. We've gone 14 minutes.
It's on.
Grace Taylor's time clock.
Oh, oh.
And a few hostilities.
Oh.
And a push and a shove and a,
Yep,
up there
and
by
Glenelg
Glenelg,
free kick.
and a
So
free kick
that
there.
was...
Diagon there, player infringing, comes to the front square, hinge onto Bode, Bode's tackled immediately by Jackman. Weatherald barges through the pack, he's tackled on the deck. How the umpire call this? We'll have a ball up in Glenelg's attacking zone.
And I wonder if they can actually add to that state squad, because Bode would be a handy inclusion next week for South Australia, but I'm not sure whether it's too late or...
I don't know, if you had your way, you'd have the whole 21 in there, I think, Daniel.
the way they've been playing, they'd probably...
Well, Panozzo for one. Look at the form he's in. He's made a sensational game.
Oh,
He's
ran too far.
Oh, let him go. It was great to watch.
Oh.
But the umpires interfered. He is really played a great game, Panozzo.
When they did pick that state side, Glenelg had obviously lost that round one game at Noarlunga, and they picked it a couple of weeks after that. So certainly a lot of their players have been playing a lot better since then.
Yeah, and the form has changed with a lot of state players. I've noticed Charlie Sharples from Sturt's playing in the reserves.
He actually got promoted at the last minute with Bentley getting injured for the Power.
But that's
week.
a bad, that shows you how quick.
That's exactly what I mean. You'd certainly rather
change.
Bode up
Glenelg
there.
player free here,
Oh.
Seller. Got plenty of room there. Enough to put a bottle shop.
But this is very embarrassing for Norwood at the moment. They're really getting their pants pulled down at the moment. It's this is what we said before the game. Glenelg have got a lot of stars, and they're all shining at the moment.
Not many injuries either. Their Glenelg side is the most settled side in the competition. They just seem to keep it unchanged, or maybe make one change every week. And gee, Sellers, a handy player to come off the bench.
And as I said before, Daniel, a pretty settled lineup from last season. So not too many changes to the personnel, and that would be a great benefit to Mark Micken.
And throw in Bode and Grimer from last season. They are just two massive inclusions.
So the kick out from fullback, Koshel flies high, doesn't complete the mark. Campbell in there for the Redlegs, gets a shove in the back, half back line.
He was best on ground last week, wasn't he, Campbell? And I just don't think we've really noticed. He hasn't had a positive impact on this game tonight.
Redleg lower, emerges from that contest, on towards Diagon. Just Norwood just trying to break through the lines here. Perhaps an opportunity with Bound. Nice long kick forward, up towards Flatco. Couple of players to beat there. Sherwood at the back for Glenelg, on towards Panozzo. The penetrating Panozzo up towards Holmes, tackled by Koshel. Good pressure there, but Panozzo backing up again, racking up the possessions. On towards Bode, probably the best two players on the ground at the moment. Out towards Sugars. And Glenelg, it's almost like circle work here on a Thursday night at training as they work that ball out of the defensive zone up to centre wing to Doldig.
Doldig's been one of the quieter players, I suppose, and he normally gets features, so just watch out as this time it's going deep into the tack. Big Grimer's there, he nearly took down another hanger. Umpires paid a free to Norwood though, Stewie Bound. Have to say he gets a pass for trying tonight. On to ex-Glenelg play, played 55 games in Keith Culprit, got pushed out, the Glenelg player, wasn't spotted.
But gee, that just sums up their night. That sums up the Norwood's night.
And I mean, the Redlegs were playing the last couple of weeks on emotion with the passing away of a former player in Lee Blake. Was that, was there a lot of motivation, do you think they were able to take from that? Is that missing this week, do you think? Or is it just the
fantastic effort last week against North Adelaide. That was just they played on heart and soul, and unfortunately tonight they've, certainly it's the opposite.
And we must say that I think North Adelaide must have played badly for Andrew Jarman's swung the axe this week and dropped a lot of star players.
7 changes.
Yeah, blokes, quite a few experienced players too playing in the Magoos this week, so it's an indication North Adelaide weren't too flash. I wasn't at the game though. You were there, Daniel, were you? Did you?
No, I wasn't at that game, but
sick in bed, which
I was actually, had the flu last week, by the way, but
on the radio. But anyway, it's now Holmes, another contributor that's broken up this time. It's not happening for Norwood tonight, unfortunately, and Glenelg could almost go off the ground at the moment, and Norwood would kick a point and have no one to kick it in. That's just how bad they're playing.
Gee.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
But, well, you just wouldn't have 1 goal, 1 on the scoreboard if you were playing any decent footy. They're just not good enough at the night. And there's the man that can kick goals. He just can't get into it. Poor Polo.
Oh, Bode again.
Bode. Jeez, he's made an impression tonight. McConnell, the gun, hasn't done much. He's been in the holster tonight, but he's passed on over to... It's gone out of bounds near the Denron scrap metal sign. Come and see Jamie if you need scrap metal, or take it there. Great company at Theberton there.
Oh, they certainly are, but unbelievable that McConnell, the X Factor, the guy that normally bobs up for Glenelg, he's kicked 28 goals this season, hasn't registered a score tonight.
They don't need him.
Don't
As
need
we
him.
speak,
But
here
there
he is. He always does it.
But I don't think he'll go through the game without a goal.
No, he'll bob up.
I think he'll kick as many as Norwood.
You might be right there, Jim.
Yep.
As the parade sellers time clock shows, we've gone just past 20 minutes of this third term.
Being a bit hard on Norwood, but I think their supporters around us are feeling a bit frustrated at the moment. It's not a good performance on their home ground.
Yeah, it was, they put on a great exhibition here a couple of weeks ago in front of a big crowd, and it's just disappointing for their coaching staff and the supporters that, well, they've been just totally outclassed, and anything they've attempted to tonight has just come unstuck.
Credit to Glenelg. They are the form side of the competition, as we hear from Daniel quite a lot saying it, and he's dead right, though. They are very good to watch, and I really anticipated a good game tonight. Both sides I expected to play well, but only one's come up.
Yeah, you just wonder whether Glenelg can keep doing this until the first week of October. It's a long, long way away.
Look at the players there.
Oh,
there's about 3.
There he is. There he is.
That's what disappoints about Norwood. There was 3.
There he is.
3 unattended Glenelg players on their own there. And that's not good enough. That's undisciplined. That should have a man each. And you wouldn't leave this bloke on his own ever. But not with 2 teammates, the closest people to him. So this could be the 1 goal that you reckon he'll kick, Damien. You got money on this?
Oh, yes, I put $50 on it.
Yep.
You
Yes.
Yep. Yes.
Oh,
There
I
we
don't know
go.
who's going to pay you, because I wasn't going to back against him either.
Oh, he's a star.
Yeah.
He is a star. He's kicked 29 goals, 7, if you don't
Gee,
mind, this season.
yeah.
And last year he kicked 63 goals to be named in that Advertiser Team of the Year. And
I know you're hard that he's not in the state squad.
well, I just think he can
just
be a match
doesn't.
winner.
He just doesn't look athletic. I think that
No.
just goes against him.
Probably
I
right,
really-
but
he just does he gets the results.
tell you what, he's just a handy guy to have up there when you've got those 4 big tools, and he just slips under the guard. And last week he actually kicked 6 goals, and gee, what's the umpire going to do here?
He'll recall the bounce.
like he might
and
throw it up.
Yep, he'll throw it up.
Yep.
Seller there in the ruck for Glenelg opposed to Koshel. So we'll see James Seller get up high, gets the tap. Bode wins it. McConnell, bit hot for him on a cold night. Campbell through traffic. Puopolo, Colpert. Here's a chance for the Red Legs. Goes towards a Tisa goal, and here's that point you were kicking out.
And that, guys, is their first score at the Copper World end of the ground, I believe.
Yep.
They did not register even a point in the first quarter.
Copywater shifting to the parade next year.
That is unbelievable. Their first score, and we're now at the 24-minute mark here on the Parade Sellers time clock
Yeah,
of
that
the
ball
third
bounced
quarter.
off the photocopier.
Gee.
Back into play. Koshel. Good hand pass on the way. His kick smothered,
Oh.
but no one there for Norwood. It's all Glenelg again. Rebounding out of defence. Walker appears to be playing in the... Oh, it's actually eludes bound. Here's Walker now, but he's well away
what
from
a
his
mark.
opponent in Kirkby. Has been a move that Trevor Hill has made, of course, with no supply up forward, putting Taylor Walker back there on Rory Kirkby.
There's the X Factor. There he is. There's McConnell.
Well, just as we said, where he hasn't had to do much tonight, in he comes.
Always has a quarter where he just comes up with 2 or 3 goals, doesn't he? And
And it's the third quarter down the southern end.
Yep.
in front of the big
Good
crowd.
yes.
Lovely, lovely kick. He's done it again.
Ah,
What a star. Can't say enough about this guy.
you're right. He is a star. He is a star. He may not look like a footballer, but he's got all the skill in the world, and gee, he can kick straight, can't he? He's kicked 30 goals, 7 now.
Now, I just see Daryl Hart just making a couple of notes there, so...
Why wouldn't you? He can kick straight.
Of course, the big game on next
Well,
Saturday afternoon at Adelaide Oval.
I think he was recruited from Victoria, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's from the North Ballarat
Ballarat,
side, and
yeah.
he'd certainly be fired up if he did get a game.
They'd look at him in the state games and laugh. I think they'd say, this bloke's not... Gee, they're short of players, and he'd come out and kick 6 goals. That's just what he's like. You know,
He'll have 6 kicks and kick 6 important goals and probably win him the game. That's as you said, that's the type of player he is.
Ball up again.
Yep. Umpire Tony Day in the middle. And another stoppage. I reckon we're going for a record number of stoppages. Of course, with the weather, the dew on the ground tonight. Ball's been on the deck a lot. Plenty of players around the football. Thumped out towards McConnell, on towards Panozzo. Just, no, it doesn't get past Piopolo. Good pressure there. Chance for Walker. Nice pick up.
Gee, what
just sends it up the line. Looking for no one in particular. Eludes a couple of players here. Over towards Nitschke. Got Kite free. Now he's got a player free in Campbell. Just got to get around a couple of opponents. Good pick up there by Gallagher on the culprit. He's got Donahue free and a mark inside 50, and that's been a long time. Yes.
the man who kicked 6 goals when we were here 2 weeks ago against Port Adelaide in a match-winning performance. Hasn't obviously registered a goal tonight, and yeah, he was the hero 2 weeks ago, and tonight hasn't had his best game.
And when you said it's been a long time since a mark inside 50, I'd say since Prospect last week, I think. I can't remember anything happening in their forward line like a mark. No, it's truly, it's just so rare.
Oh, he's missed
Wasn't
that.
up for it.
No.
One goal 4. Probably that Glenelg kicked 4 years ago. Is Norwood 1 goal 3 at the moment, late in the third quarter.
I'm predicting they'll get 2 goals.
Matty Bode now kicks the ball long. It's going to be hard to pick their best player. Matty Bode must be probably just ahead of Panozzo, as we said earlier. But
Grimer's been good, hasn't he?
Grimer's been
3
good.
goals, and
I've been impressed with Sellers' game. You know, there's just they're bobbing up everywhere at the moment. Fisher, another one. Holmes,
Murphy.
It's great team effort, and it's particularly this third quarter they've really dominated. They've really got away, and here's the man again. It's on the block. Must realise he's got to play out of his skin to stay in this side block. He's been in and out. But although who's actually out of the side at the moment that's injured? They're lucky they haven't had many injuries.
No, probably no one really from their best 21. Tom Logan from the Power played in round 1, and you'd expect him at some point later in the season to perhaps come in, but there's no real player injured that is a walk-up start.
And again, that's another luxury that Mark Micken has, where there's not too many AFL-listed players, so not too many changes.
Yep.
Right, we're at the 27-minute mark on the Parade Sellers time clock, nearly three-quarter time, and they've been put away at this stage. That's a 10 goals, 7 up, Glenelg. That could go 100-point blowout if this continues. Okay. Another free-to, they're playing in front. Is it Bode again with the free? Jeez, he got leather poisoning tonight as he kicks the ball into the centre forward area, looking for any one of their forwards. It's John Hinge this time. He's been really quiet. Circles around, didn't have any opposition. Norwood supporters are getting upset. Should have put that one on the board.
He just turned him inside out.
Almost like a training drill, wasn't it? The way he just turned around and no pressure at all.
Gee, Trevor Hill's going to have to come up with something at three-quarter time just to save some respectability here.
Yeah, but it's also up to the players. I mean, who's going to stick their hand up and okay, they've got a big deficit, but they want to show something in this final quarter. As the third quarter siren sounds here at the Parade, this Friday night contest. It's all Glenelg at the moment, 11-11-77, leading Norwood 139. Jim, major goal scorers for Glenelg.
Well, I'll start with Norwood's first. Davis, that's it. And for Glenelg, Grimer, 3. Holmes, 2. Bode, 2. McConnell, 2. 2 in that third quarter. He's just came in when we were, waiting for him. Fisher and Seller, 1 each.
Okay, so wherever you happen to be watching this DVD, we'll be right back with the final quarter.
The Norwood Football Club would like to thank its major sponsor, Fairmont Homes. Fairmont Homes, built for life. The Norwood Football Club also thanks its corporate partners, Cooper's Brewery, proud sponsors of Cooper. Quick reminder that after-match presentations will be held in the RSL Hall. It hasn't been a great night, but please still go along to the RSL Hall. It's situated at the northern end of the ground.
Well, final quarter here at the parade. Umpire bounces the ball in the middle. Tyrrell, Cranston, Campbell, Kite. On towards Nitschke. Over towards Colpert. Kicks it up, looking for a teammate. The Glenelg defence standing tall, as they have done all night. Just noticed Brett Backwell on the
Copped something, might have got it something there in the goalies or something there. Looked fairly in a lot of pain. As Glenelg now clear. Rudolph's still can't get a touch, but Cranston does. On to Kane into the middle of the ground. Nobody really wanted that ball, as this bloke does.
He wanted it.
Oh, this is going to set up another goal. Kirkby should kick this. He just runs into the open goal.
No.
It's swinging, and he's got it. That's the goal of the day, or the goal of the night.
set up by a great handball by Krusty Bode.
Exactly, as you said, guys, Bode wanted that ball most. He was the only one who really wanted it. He dug it out, and it ended in the hands of Kirkby. And if it's not Grimer or Seller or Doldig kicking goals, it's Kirkby. He can bob up, McConnell, and that Glenelg forward line is a potent forward line in this competition, and it's going to take a good back line to keep them all down.
Especially when guys like Bode deliver like that. But you mentioned Doldig. Is he out there tonight? He hasn't been out. I reckon he's on the bench, is he?
Yeah, well, normally, Doldig plays full forward, and Seller kind of plays in the ruck and off the bench and swaps with him, but they've given Seller a bit more game time tonight.
Perhaps rotating the forward line as ball goes into that forward line again. Glenelg just will not let up here. They want to boost their percentage.
That man again.
He wants
McConnell there, Seller, Grimer goes back. Onwards, Holmes has
Another
a shot.
one.
Another one. No.
Oh, the crowd behind the goals
Gee.
were roaring.
Yes, the crowd there from Copy World.
Gee, it
roaring
sounds
for
like,
another goal.
Sounds like there's more Glenelg supporters here in this last quarter than Norwood supporters. There probably is, actually.
And Daniel, can just what's the difference in percentage between Glenelg and Sturt? I know Glenelg now with only the one loss. For,
Sturt are well ahead. Sturt are 62%, Glenelg are 57.1. So you'd say that even if Glenelg do win this by this margin, well, it doesn't matter. Glenelg are still top anyway because they'll have one game clear.
But do you think Mark Micken would be driving this home, because this would be a healthy percentage booth with Norwood only 1-3?
Well, finals places are going to come down to percentage. They often do. So, yeah, certainly the message would be to kick on and win this last quarter.
You know, at the start of the season, many people were tipping Glenelg a top 3 side. They're now looking like a top side.
Yeah, I guess it's still May, though, isn't it? It's still
Yes,
May,
it's
and
still
there's a
early,
long way to go.
But we saw how Sturt slipped away
It
a
can
few
happen.
weeks ago.
A week's a long time in football, so yeah, got to keep doing this for another.
Well, it's a
4
fortnight's going
months.
to be a long time too. That's when they next play.
And that passage of play was another indication. Norwood player looked under the ball, looked like he could mark it, but his Glenelg defender just punched it out of his hands. Like they're not going to give anything away tonight. It's a brilliant performance by Glenelg, especially in the second half. As we now go at the 5-minute mark of the Parade Sellers time clock, Glenelg would be hoping that this game could keep going. They'd love to kick a big score. It's in the centre of the ground. The supporters get upset. There's Fisher, one of the best on the ground, on to Kane. And I wanted to call Kane to Sugars, but it didn't quite happen yet tonight. But,
it's been a pretty sweet victory, though, for the Tigers, hasn't it?
I must say that line's patented by Michael Marnie, if you're listening. He's, but I do like that.
I reckon, look, Glenelg supporters, I reckon they want to get on board and buy a package of DVDs from Pine Lodge Studios, because they've had some good wins this season. As we see Allen run away with the football, looking for McConnell, nearly completes the mark. Kirkby there, he's tackled, can't break away. And free kick to the Redlegs. Michael Avon.
Holding the ball.
Sorry, Tony Day awarding Dygan with the free kick.
And you're right there, Damien. They are a good side to watch. They play some. Once they get into gear like this, you just can't see enough of them. They really play with a lot of skills.
And for a side that hasn't played at night all season, to come out like this and keep Norwood to 1 goal is amazing.
Put the hands in the back. Yeah.
But I guess that's probably why they had such a sloppy first half. They weren't in top gear, but they certainly are now. As Kane again. Big Kirkby goes up. Same thing as Kendrick.
That's Walker.
Straight away. They're out of trouble. This time it's Lauer onto Walker. Walker hasn't done much tonight. He's played in defence, which is unusual for him, probably in his whole career. This time there's a chance for Polo.
Great pick-up.
Wasted kick, though.
So I think that's what Trevor Hills is trying, a couple of moves. Of course, he knows the game's gone, and I think, look, this is a throw. He wasn't getting much supply up there, so rather than get cold on a night like tonight, throw him down in defence and give him a run there, see how he performs.
Norwood are probably lucky in a way they had that draw in a way, because I guess South Adelaide's the only side they're competing with in terms of percentage.
Exactly, yeah. That's what the point is going to make, because it won't really affect the Redlegs.
No,
percentage.
It's not. It's not going to affect them at all.
Unless another couple of sides have a draw.
Yeah, well,
that's the only scenario that could affect the Redlegs, as Kite sends them into attack. He hasn't stopped trying.
So you're saying you're justifying why they only kicked 1 goal?
They can afford to relax.
But I guess if they lost by 1 point or 100, if that stays the same, that they've had they're and South are the only teams that have had a draw, it's not really going to matter, is it?
Yeah, it's not good for morale to get beaten this badly. It's going to be hard for them to front up next week. As Bryce Campbell, been a fairly quiet player, as we mentioned, kicks the ball. He's got a lot of mates in his side. This time it's Dygan over the ball. He's tried hard. Sherwood Forrest has got him wrapped up.
Well, look, you did say next week, Jim. If they front up next week, they won't have an opponent.
Well, none of them will be fronting up next week. The state game.
So they've got both sides have got a
but
fortnight off to
Glenelg will be
reassess.
fronting up against Victoria, I think, according to Daniel next week. So,
well, I'll tell you what, you can do worse than pick Matty Bode in that side.
Yep, and McConnell.
And Ruwalt.
Yeah.
No, not Rudolph, sorry, Rudolph.
Sella won't be picked, I can guarantee you that.
And, Todd Grimer's deemed ineligible because he's come
First
from the
year.
VFL first year here.
Yes,
so
right. As Doldick comes back on the ground.
What's the story? Is there something also with eligibility with coming from the Crows?
Yeah, they can't play.
Oh, Sella can't play.
No, coming as someone like Bode or Perry.
No, Perry's in the squad and so is Tawney, but Bode's not in the squad for some reason. So, Perry's...
Well, based on tonight's form, I've watched a lot of Glenelg games this year, and I haven't seen him anywhere near this form tonight. So maybe, you know, if he'd played like this all year, he would have certainly been in the squad, but they couldn't have not picked him.
I guess Glenelg have had very even contribution this season. If it's not McConnell bobbing up with 6 goals, it's Grimer in the midfield, Backwell, Bode, Holmes, Murphy. It's a Fisher. It's a very even spread. So I guess they don't have any absolute standouts. They've got 21 winners.
But this is the sort of conditions that would suit Bode. The ball's been on the ground a lot.
Yep.
It's slippery, so the skills of Bode would come to the fore given these conditions.
Oh, he's played a lot of night football for the Adelaide Crows and also Port Adelaide Power, a few games there, and used to playing night games at AFL level, and to come here and is a bit of a luxury for Glenelg this season.
So boundary throw in. It's probably junk time started at the start of the quarter, I think. That's another stoppage would take place in that full forward pocket.
Norwood's lowest score, guys, against Glenelg is 4 goals, 7-31, way back in the 1981 preliminary final at Footy Park. So
I remember that. That's when Glenelg had the breeze for 3 quarters.
And so basically Norwood have to kick, well, they've got to kick 4 goals in this quarter, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Here goes Seller.
Seller under up at the side. It's Kirkby. Which tool's going to take it? Kirkby's
not this time.
Can't hook the ball back. It's just 1 point. Sprayed a few tonight. Take on the Cockatoo Ridge scoreboard. That takes Glenelg on to 12-13-85. Norwood, a very disappointing 1 goal 3-9. Can they get double figures? As
Gee,
that's amazing.
Didn't think about that, Jim.
That's what they've got to play for.
It's centre wing. Of course, the old... I don't think Trevor Hill would have said at the start of the game, let's have 1 goal in mind. As Weatherold plays on, does he have to come back? Yes, he does.
Gee, I wonder what Norwood's lowest score is of all time, because, yeah, I'm sure they... I wonder what that is, Damien, big guy, hard Norwood man. You don't...
No, it's been a long time of seeing, you know, a performance like this.
Certainly has.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, you'd expect a 1 goal 3 on a muddy, wet, windy day, but not, I mean, it's dewy, but, you know, it's...
No wind at all, is it? It's almost perfect.
They've just been outclassed, and here they go again. They've just got too many players that want the ball, and here's Sugars now. Can he find Kane?
Well, as you said, you know, they're coming up against a very settled lineup in Glenelg who are in really fine touch, and then have players like your Bodes and your Pinozzos just get into another gear. It's just, yeah, they're just completely outclassed Norwood on every level tonight.
Glenelg's confidence is at an all-time high as well. Absolutely confident.
Oh, speaking of that, that's up goes Grimer. Digan over the top. This one's Davis. He fumbles the ball. He's under pressure from 2 players. Great play by Benny Mills. Oh, it's actually Ty Allen. He stripped him. As the ball comes out now, there's Gallagher. Probably Norwood's best tonight. But as I say that, he's just handed the ball straight back to Johnny Hinge. Probably thought they were back in the Crows side as they used to be. And here's, speaking of the Crows, Sellers had the most impressive game he's played for this year anyway for the Bays, I'd say. A Norwood player's down. He's holding his leg.
That is Zorsey too. Gee, that's the last thing they need.
He just...
he'll
be all right. I think the pack fell on him. He'll grin and bear it.
So 30 minutes gone on the parade Sellers time clock. Of course, they'll match any advertised price on your favourite wine, spirit, or favourite ale.
Have they got Cockatoo Ridge wines?
I believe so.
That's good.
Oh, I think the Glenelg supporters are having a few Cockatoo Ridges tonight.
Yeah. They dine regularly at the North East Club.
Oh.
And they get all their office equipment from Coffee World.
And they get all their SANFL DVDs from Pine Lodge Studios. So there we go, all in one mouthful, as Norwood have received a free kick. Actually, Sam Rowe, being Norwood's only goal scorer, has been one...
Not their worst player, has he?
Yes,
Not their worst player.
He'll be the only one to get his name in the paper.
Along with Gallagher, but...
Oh, yeah,
yes.
maybe, yeah.
Gee.
Because that's just how terrible they've been tonight. There's just, you know, there's a lot of this getting the ball, handballing in circles, but eventually it'll get broken up as they, this time maybe something happened here. As the young fella in
Donahue.
Donahue, the star against Port Adelaide, unable to break it up. Here we go
It's
again.
all happening.
It's
Everything.
they just eventually cough it up, eventually. And I thought that time they had a chance as John Hinge takes the ball in front of the Denron scrap metal sign.
Just all going the Tigers' way here tonight. Everything's coming off. Here they go again, that man, McConnell.
Gee, dangerous in front of goal. He kicked 2 great goals. He's got his third.
Third great goal.
Gee, you cannot keep a good man down.
Dead-eye Dick, isn't he, Daniel?
That is 31 goals, 7 for the season to McConnell, and just when you could say he's out of the game, he'll bob up when you least expect it.
Real opportunist, isn't he?
Unbelievable.
I wouldn't put 6 past him. He's kicked it a few times this year. I think with 12 minutes or so to go, he'd probably say, I can get 6 tonight.
And importantly, he only needs a few possessions to really make an impact on a game of football, and he's a bit like I guess a Brett Burton type in the way he's a bit of a match winner, a bit of an X factor.
Unpredictable.
Block sends Glenelg forward. Once again, looks like they'll get to a century before Norwood get to double figures.
Gee.
Ruwalt fighting hard for the Bays and gets a free kick. Glenelg's work tonight has not gone unrewarded. They've been tough around the contests and have totally outclassed
They've got about
their opponents tonight.
They've got about 10 options in this forward line. You can just bob it up here and someone will mark it.
And with a week off next week, they think, well, let's have a hard hit out tonight. They haven't stopped trying. They could have thought, well, we're far enough ahead, we can take it easy. But there isn't really a game next week for most of them. And just putting in right to the end. And the umpires called that back. And at the 16-minute mark on the Parade Sellers time clock.
Do you think Daryl Hart will be heading across to Mark Minkin to ask him to rest the state squad members?
Well, it's just amazing that the top team in the competition, some of their best players not even in the squad. So a bit of a strange one.
Norwood into attack.
I think the squad was picked. Sturt got 7 and their form's dropped off a bit. And, as I say, some of those players aren't in good form now.
And as you mentioned, a guy like Sharples was named in the Sturt reserves last week. He's in the state squad. He ended up playing because Bentley pulled out. But
actually did find a bit of touch back last week for the Double Blues as we watch Norwood go into attack again. But once more, there's a defender there and Hinge this time. Sends the ball across the boundary line in front of the faithful on Cooper's Hill.
Well, I'm going to say it again. Glenelg's lowest ever score, they were embarrassed. 1 goal 4 years ago on this very ground on a Friday night game. Norwood are currently 1 goal 3, so
they might beat it.
A few of those Glenelg players have long memories.
And they're still there. As this is Murphy now, he's played a good game. It's going to be hard to pick the best players. We would have to say Bode stand out, but here's another one. There's McDonald. Can he do it again? No.
Just trying to spot perhaps Taylor Walker's been shifted back in the defensive half for Norwood because of Stewie Bound. I haven't spotted him, and he does suffer from heart problems from time to time. So perhaps that's a concern. I haven't actually seen him. I see Colpert and Tyrrell on the bench at the moment, but I actually haven't seen him since half-time.
Yeah, well, I guess, they're giving a few of the younger guys a bit of a run, and why not?
This time it's John Hinge now. It's dropped by Donahue. Nitsky, sorry. Hardly called Nitsky tonight. Almost forgotten about him. He has that, to be fair, he's tried hard. He's been in defence. Ball's come back. This time it's Jackman. Out of bounds on the full.
That absolutely sums up their night. Norwood's night tonight. It is a dirty night for the Norwood Football Club tonight.
Here's just one player on his own as usual, and it's Fisher this time. They haven't really. I mean, at the 18-minute mark, they've only kicked 2 goal 3 at this stage. It appears that they might have kicked more.
Now, Jim, Norwood had one of their lowest days ever last year against Centrals. What was the margin in that game? Was it
158 or something?
158 around there, wasn't it? And you'd almost say that this is a worse performance tonight.
Yeah,
1 goal.
Yep, I'd agree. That was a little bit more high scoring. Similar.
Especially because
they've lamentable at the same.
They've come off 2 great wins as well against Port and North, and really, along with Glenelg, one of the informed teams, and just an amazing turnaround tonight.
Well, that's probably the only interest left in the game now is can Glenelg keep them to 1-3?
Well, they've got about, I would say, 8 minutes of football left in this game to try and get to double figures. Jackman on the last line of defence. Over towards Davis. Immediately confronted. Glenelg worrying the Norwood defenders again, and they get a free kick on this occasion. Umpire Bowen there.
Well,
he's earned that.
I reckon there was a few guys like Sherwood would have been around in that game when Glenelg kicked 1-4, and he would be hoping that he can keep Norwood to, to that score. There he is.
Right, so there's no problems with him. But Weatherald's worried out of it. Lower, off the deck, gets the scrambles a kick forward, eludes Holmes. Rowe fights hard, trying to find a teammate. Weatherald in there.
Too much pressure for Glenelg.
Good work by Allen in the pack. Over towards Fisher.
Jeez, he's played
Glenelg
well.
triumph again from a hard ball get. And at the bottom of, is it Ruwalt down there?
That's Ruwalt.
Yep, wasn't able to get a foot to it. On the last line of defence is Walker. Has a kick smothered. And another minor score. So
gee, the relentless pressure that Glenelg keep putting on their defenders, they just want to pack up and go in, I think.
And I would say it's probably close to a 4-quarter effort by Glenelg. Really, they haven't been challenged in any of the terms.
Unbelievable performance.
I mean, it's rarely that a side just completely just dominates a game of football. I mean, coaches are always asking for 4-quarter efforts, and I think this is her first time I've seen it from a side this year.
Well, Norwood's second quarter wasn't too bad. They got all their goals. But other than that,
nearly 3 quarters goalless. So ball back in.
And not going to get one here as
Colbert probably wishes he was still playing for Glenelg.
There's the pig shooter.
Gee, I reckon Colbert actually might have been in that Glenelg side that night.
Yes, he would have been in perhaps Blatco.
Perhaps, and certainly a few Glenelg players still there remain today, and I reckon Sherwood would definitely be one of them.
Probably, perhaps Stewie Bowen and James Gallagher there for Norwood.
Perhaps Cranston might be one as well. Backwell. They have long memories.
As the ball was down, the crowd are just anticipating the statistic of this low score. I can hear them all looking in their record books at the moment. As we're at the 22-minute mark, we might only have 5 more minutes at the most. This is a chance.
Oh, yes.
The crowd rise.
And first time we've called Blatco to take an overhead mark.
I think Blatco's boots are still clean too. He hasn't. I don't think he's had a kick, has he?
Yeah. No,
not so much his fault.
I don't think he'll need a shower tonight.
I don't think he'll.
The former Glenelg player.
He's been bathed.
Can he do it? He gets the boos from the Glenelg crowd. They don't want him to get a goal. He might even get a. No, he won't get a score here.
They don't want to even give him a point. There's a lot on this.
There's a lot on this. I really think there is. There's a lot of that Glenelg footy club were embarrassed that night, and they've been down for a long time. And well, what goes around comes around.
They're not even going to rush anything here. They're desperate to get this out of here. Oh, here we go. Oh, Campbell.
Colbert. Could he be?
Colbert. Colbert's the culprit.
Gee, I reckon
I think Glenelg will be. This is like the nail-biting finish of a grand final. They will hope below the siren.
They know it. They know what's going on here too.
It's the intensity of Glenelg not to want them to score. You can feel it. They definitely do not.
They know. 1-4, and Norwood are currently 1-3 at the 24-minute mark of the last quarter.
Both sides are desperate now at the moment. One not to let the other side score. I don't think Glenelg even care. Here they go again. It's Pinozzo and Norwood.
Play it. No, I thought he was going to race away with that football, Jamie Blatco there.
And I wasn't far wrong when I said earlier, the only interest left in this game is what Norwood's score is going to be. Can you feel it in the crowd,
you can.
The players?
I think
the keep them down.
The players are desperate. It's like they're up by a point.
It is.
They are, really, in the lowest score ever.
But it is really that type of game at the moment. There's a lot of interest at this scoreline. Can they keep them to under 10 points at the 24-minute mark on the Parade Sellers?
And I reckon there's a lot of Glenelg supporters. They're up by, 84 points, who are hoping the siren will go right now.
Yep, they've had enough. And I think Norwood want the game to keep going. Maybe, can they get a score? Here they go, there's a mark.
Oh, someone at the back.
Will they get it?
No! Oh!
They're going to rush it. They're going to rush it.
they're not
No,
gonna
they
rush
won't
it.
even rush
Benny
it.
Mills.
This is desperation
Ben Mills,
here.
would he?
The
would he
crowd
have
are on
played
their
4
feet.
years ago? Benny Mills would have played 4 years ago as well.
Yeah,
Was
Mills
Oh,
would have
what
been there.
tension
They've got
here
long
at the
memories.
parade.
They remember. And they,
Oh, there's a goal!
It's
Oh,
no!
no score! Panozzo, the star of the day.
It
Safe.
hit the behind post.
Oh,
oh,
I thought,
it's like they're up. It's almost like Glenelg don't even want to concede that point. They want the bragging rights here. 1 goal 4.
tell you what, there'll be a lot of
versus 1
people.
goal 3.
A lot of people wanting this DVD just to see this finish. It's so exciting. There we
Oh,
go,
it's like
Benny
a-
Mills. Can he kick it? Oh, don't waste
deliberate.
it.
Oh, and it stayed in. It stayed in.
Oh,
In the
gee.
AFL, that's probably deliberate, but not in the
This
SANFL.
is an absolute cliffhanger with
Well, they were embarrassed as players. A proud history, this club and the Glenelg club, and the club was embarrassed and humiliated that night. And gee, they're fighting.
turned it on them, hasn't they?
Yeah.
As this time the tackling
Oh.
is, and you can tell.
Roche
Look
is
at
holding
that
the
double
lead.
tackled.
They know what's going on here. I bet you Ben Muir said something at 3/4 time about
Keeping that score.
that night.
So
Here they
Glenelg,
go.
Oh,
Perhaps
looks
they'll-
like they'll get out of this.
Perhaps they ought to just play defensive footy and chip it around and make the siren.
Well, that's actually, it's interesting. They played a lot of that footy last year in a similar game, and it came unstuck for them. Sending
It
the ball
usually
up
does.
the line.
Gee, I tell you what, you can
And-
sense it around the ground here. That,
I reckon there's only a minute
Everyone's
left.
looking at their footy budgets.
it's just an amazing stat here.
I reckon the siren will go any minute. There's only been 2 goals this last quarter, so it's nearly the 27-minute mark on the Parade Sellers time
Gee,
clock.
It's the most exciting part of the game right now.
There it is!
Oh!
And they've done it.
Oh, can you
Well,
believe it?
congratulations to Glenelg to keep us side to 1 goal 3 in good conditions. Is an amazing performance. We're going to remember this game for many years to come.
This is history in the making here tonight. Glenelg, the club that was embarrassed 4 years ago, the laughing stock of the competition, and now they are the top side in the competition at this stage, and they've kept Norwood to 1 goal 3, which is below Glenelg's 1 goal 4. So, yeah, just a famous night here for the Glenelg Football Club.
Yeah, and it's not very often you get a statistic like that. You'd have to go a long way back. We don't know if it's their lowest score. Probably in the 1800s they
I'm not
kick.
sure whether the Norwood supporters will be reaching for the record books. They will
Yeah,
probably
no,
want to
they'll be
forget
heading
about
down
this.
the Parade Sellers and getting probably.
And I think, look, it probably, the break with the state game again has come at the right time for the Redlegs to maybe
Unbelievable.
rethink and look,
Gee.
they were just totally outclassed in every facet of the game. Glenelg, a 4-quarter effort, fantastic effort to come out here tonight and continue on their good form. They knew top spot was up for grabs, and perhaps that was the motivation for Mark Minkin and his troops tonight.
It was almost like an AFL side, wasn't it? The way they were playing against an SANFL side. That's you could almost say that they absolutely dominated. I've been following football for a long, long time. I've never seen a side kick 1 goal 3-9 in the modern era. Have you ever?
Half time in a mini league game I saw it once, but that's not very
Schoolboy
often.
football, yeah. But
Well, so I think it's about time the Glenelg supporters get on board and buy a package of DVDs because
this
especially
one will
this
go down
8
history.
rounds of the season, they want to get a hold of especially this game and perhaps their win against Sturton and Centrals because they've certainly taken all before them this season and
I think this-
perhaps have been the surprise side in the competition, the big achievers so far at this, I suppose, approaching the halfway mark of the season.
and they've kept a stable lineup, as we've said. Rarely have they made any changes to the side, and I think only one change tonight was Sugars was it Adlington? I believe that was the only change, but yeah, as we've said, very settled lineup, and again, no injuries to the Tigers. So Mark Micken must be a very, very happy man.
And that scoreboard attendance got those scores down as quick as he could. He's obviously a true Blue Norwood supporter. 13-15 wasn't a huge score themselves. That's probably the only part that let themselves down. They did dominate the game. They should have even kicked the highest score themselves. But they're going onto the hill there at the moment.
It's almost like the Glenelg hill. There's like slouts down there.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them. We can see the black and gold. They've made the trip up here to Norwood. Perhaps a lot of them live in Norwood.
Well, I know one in particular, not far from me, that does. So they're certainly. They're an exciting side to watch, and they're going to get more supporters, and there'll be bandwagging people coming on board for the rest of the year, I'd say. Why wouldn't you?
You've got to remember, a lot of these Glenelg supporters have had 15 odd years of heartache, and a lot of these Glenelg supporters were probably there that night 4 years ago, watching Glenelg kick 1 goal for, and I'm sure they knew what was going on, and I'm sure a few of the Glenelg players did as well. And Norwood, where do they go from here? They're going to be out of the 5 after this round, you'd expect. And suddenly they've gone from one of the best teams in the competition in terms of in form, beating Port Adelaide and North Adelaide 2 weeks in a row, and now they've just lost ground.
Absolutely, they're back to where they were about 3 weeks ago. So,
I think we'll agree on the best players. Definitely Matthew Bode, best on ground by a country mile.
He was fantastic.
Absolutely, the
Luke
best
Penoso
game.
would be up there.
Best game he's probably ever played for Glenelg.
I also love Fisher's game. He worked hard, got a lot of the ball, and Holmes. Every time I see Glenelg, this kid, I don't know why he's not getting more notoriety. Like, why isn't he mentioned as a draftee in the AFL?
If he doesn't, I'm sure he could come on a rookie list even, or be drafted. He's only 19 years of age. He's just got silky skills, and I know he's probably not as good as Bryce Gibbs, but he just reminds me of him, the way he runs around the field, just his body language.
So we'll wrap it up here. Glenelg victors by 84 points
I'll
in the
just
end.
quickly give you the goal kickers.
Just thank. Oh yeah, okay.
Okay.
Thank our sponsors. Yes.
Okay. The goal kickers for tonight. We'll start off with Norwood. And that was Rowe. And Sam Rowe got all their goals.
Unbelievable.
And that was easy. Grimer 3, McConnell 3. What an outstanding second half. Holmes 2, good game. Bode, best on ground 2. Fisher, Kirkby, and Seller.
So, as we wrap up here, we want to thank our sponsors, of course, Cockatoo Ridge Wines, Parade Cellars out at Norwood Place there, and the North-East Club out at Gillis Plains, and Copy World coming on board here tonight. And thanks to Daniel Frangos on special comments, Jim Huff, my co-commentator. It's Damien Woodard signing off, and we hope you'll be joining us again for another SANFL game. Bye for now.